Where have we been for the past 2 months? Hey, it's Sarah. I have lived in Mexico City and worked online for the past 10 years, and I am your guide to all things Mexico City and teaching on OUTSCHOOL. If you've been around this channel for any length of time, you've probably noticed we've been on a slight 2, maybe 3-month hiatus lately. We've got some really big changes that have been happening in our lives and our business, and possibly even for this channel. I want to talk about it right here, so stick around. The first thing I want to talk about is, as you probably know, and you just heard a couple seconds ago, I'm an online teacher for OUTSCHOOL. And that role has taken up so much more of my life recently, thankfully, than I had ever anticipated. My wonderful husband, Eliu, is now an OUTSCHOOL teacher as of August of this year, and that was an exciting, unprecedented change for our family. He's having unprecedented success on the platform, so if you need a kid's Spanish class that's full immersion with a native teacher, go check him out, Señor Eliu, over on OUTSCHOOL.com. As for me, I've been really scrambling to get him trained and ready, and it is back to school season. As you probably know, as of right now, it is September 30th, 2024, and being a teacher, back to school season is a very important time for me. I am fully booked with full curriculum classes 4 days a week, and I'm trying to keep up with the quality content, homework, and all of the things that go along with being a teacher for those kids. I can't say how grateful I am. If you are interested in becoming an OUTSCHOOL teacher, check the link in the description box below to apply with my referral code. Remember also to email me at senorasarah@senorasarahsclassroom.com if you use my referral code, and I will personally help you through and coach you through so that you have the best possible chance of getting hired. Please remember, I'm not a recruiter, I'm only a teacher, but I've been working on OUTSCHOOL for over 3 years now, and I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of how to get hired. I recently helped 2 people to get hired, which is very exciting, so I think I can help you too. As far as what's going on here on the YouTube channel, you may have noticed that my little intro back a couple minutes ago was a little different than normal. I usually talk about how I've lived in Mexico for 10 years and I'm your guide to Mexico City. I'm not changing that. I'm still your guide to Mexico City, but I'm also going to be sharing a lot more about what fuels that journey and fuels our life here in Mexico City, and that is online teaching, particularly at this time with OUTSCHOOL. This is a little bit of a change in the direction for the channel, but honestly, it's kind of what I've wanted to do the whole time anyway. We tried out the giving tours thing, and I'm not saying we're giving up on that completely, but it's definitely not the focus that we're taking right now. If you need a driver or a simple sort of tour in Mexico City, you can still check that out over at senorasarahsclassroom.com, but we're not putting our heart and soul into really cultivating that business because thankfully we don't need to. As online teachers, we're both very, very busy and earning more than enough to cover our needs and some savings. Since we're not personally experts in the tourism field, it takes a lot of extra effort and energy for us to have to learn about the places and how to be a good tour guide and set up these tours and all of the ins and outs that go along with that. We still offer a few with vetted and reputable tour guides that have that experience, but we're not personally going to be going on those tours. We just simply don't have the time. I've also admittedly had a couple of experiences with this that weren't so great. Namely, one person, who shall remain nameless to protect their privacy, decided to waste a bunch of our time, violate my refund policy, and then force me to give them their money back by doing a chargeback on my Stripe account. This kind of put a bad taste in my mouth for running a tourism business whenever I realized that I have absolutely no control over who gets a refund and who doesn't, no matter what my policy says. We're going to call it a learning experience. I definitely learned how much time I should pour into each individual who's asking me questions without actually having put forth any money first. But it really did kind of dampen my excitement for branching out into the tourism business. Now, this isn't all about being negative Nancy, and that's not the only reason, but it was a real good reality check for me that this is probably not the direction that I want to take our business. As I said, we're still working with local tour guides. If you want a tour, you can still work with us to get that. You can simply just pop over to senorasarahsclassroom.com, check out what's over there, and book. I also realized that it makes more sense for us to pour our time into what is making the money for us. And what's making the money for us is teaching Spanish online. If you've been around here for any length of time, you know that that's been a core part of our channel anyway, so it's probably no surprise that that's what's our bread and butter right now. You can look forward to more content on Mexico City, of course, coming up in the future, but you can also look forward to more content about teaching online, particularly with OUTSCHOOL. Once again, if you're interested in that, email me. Check the description box below to find a referral link where you can sign up to work for OUTSCHOOL. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. Thank you for coming. Nos vemos.